What is up, YouTube? Here we go again with another analysis of my friend's games. So this is the fourth game I played against my friend. If you'll recall, the last game he actually beat me, so that was pretty cool for him and a learning experience for me. So this is the fourth game we played. We played them all in one evening, and he was white. Played the wing Gambit. Not known to be very good for white, but also it's a quick game, and we're not grandmasters here, so anything could happen. He plays c3. I think you usually play d4 here, although I'm not sure. Maybe c3 is the move, and because he doesn't play d, no, I think d4 is the move, or maybe actually a3. Is it a3? Yeah. Either way, because he plays c3, I play e5, just getting my share of the center right away, and here he should play d4, but he plays knight f3, knight c6, bishop c4, and here I make a mistake. Played h6. I was kind of afraid of knight to g5, although I have d5 there, so I'm not really sure. I'm like a timid two knights defense player with a double king pawn, wasting time with h6 and giving away the little bit of an edge I have. Yeah, so instead I should play knight f6. Interesting line here is if he does go for the f7 square, I have d5, and after pawn takes, not knight takes, which who knows, it might allow some fried liver type stuff, but instead b5. This is pretty cool. This is kind of in the line. There's a line of the two knights defense. I forgot what it's called, where um, where black plays b5, and the idea is if white takes, the queen gets active, hitting the bishop. You'll notice this square's got a pawn on it, so there's no knight to counterattack with tempo. And yeah, black has a big advantage. And here, black's sacrificed material, but his position is great. This knight is not very well placed. This bishop is looking pretty stupid with these pawns here and here. Black controls the center. Black's also attacking g2. So this is a great position for black. So that's why I should have played knight f6 instead of h6, but the game goes on. Here, white makes a mistake by taking. Usually, in these type of gambits, you don't want to take the pawn, because then you're a pawn down with pretty much equal development. I guess white has a slight lead in development since it's his turn, but yeah, you can just leave this tension here, and that way, if black is the one to take, then at least you're getting development out of it. So better would be to just play d4, I believe, and just as a sample variation. Okay, so we're hitting this twice. So if black greedily takes this pawn, now you don't have to recapture right away. Instead, you play like this, and white has a great position. This is everything he could want out of a gambit line. And just to give a sample line, if black is really careless, after bishop e7, queen to d5 is already winning. Note this, black wishes he could take back this h6 move. So instead he takes the b pawn, but this allows me to develop. Tries to get something going on the f7 square, which might be great if there was no knight here, because it'd be a double attack. But there is a knight here, and now that the bishop being out is actually convenient for me, because I can defend without blocking it. Actually, even if there was a knight here, queen e7 would protect this bishop. So black's doing well here. Castles, knight f6, knight a3. Not sure why why not knight c3, but okay. Knight a3, castles. And the knight spends more time to come back and attack this bishop. which I just back up to a square I want to go to anyway. He plays bishop b2, fiend shadowing, putting pressure on e-pawn, and just defend. And he plays d3, but that allows me to take the two bishops. First, I have to... Oh wait, I don't have to defend this knight because this knight is... Why did I play queen c7? The computer likes queen c7. I guess just to annoy him, I don't have to take right away. And the queen is not super well placed here. I have pressure down the c-file on these loose pieces. Now he goes after the knight another time, so now I do take. And yeah, the rest of this game is not super interesting until the end. So I'm just going to go through these moves kind of quickly. Here I missed an opportunity. I mean, my goal is to attack on the king side. So even without calculation, why would I take this piece when I could take this piece? So yeah, I should have taken the knight with a huge attack. Instead I took the bishop. Still winning for me, but now I allow him some, I wouldn't quite call it counterplay, but he's still somewhat in the game. My king is exposed, so if I screw up my attack, I could get into trouble. And in fact, I do screw up. So let's look. I'm going to go through these moves fairly quickly, and now I win an exchange too. Just because there's not too much instructional value, in my opinion, here. I mean, we could analyze each move deeply, but just want to show what happened at the end of the game. So you'll see black is winning the whole game, and then I'm not winning all of a sudden after queen f5, because I mean he would have to see. We were both, I think I had maybe just a minute or two left at this point, but basically safer move would be just to save this rook. Oh, excuse me, not that way. Let's just pin this knight. Much better move. Obviously not giving away the rook, but this happens in time pressure. Sometimes you're in a rush to trade pieces to try to win, but here it's actually not winning because still might be winning if I played the correct move here, just coming up with a king. But instead I went back with the king. Now actually white can get a draw after knight c6. He's hitting this rook. This is a common knight trick. You hit a rook and you hit a forking square, netting another rook. And no matter what happens, black is going to lose the exchange back and go into equal rook and pawn endgame. For instance, computer gives best just at least taking a pawn, because again there's no way to deal with this threat and this threat because the rook protects. And this is, even though black is up a pawn, or no, excuse me, black isn't up a pawn. So computer says equal. If anything, white is, I would say white is better because he has the more outside pawn, and also my king is cut off to the first rank. So that's how David could have saved the draw here. Instead, he played his knight the other way, and yeah, this is one of those things you could be like, oh well, you looked at it with computer. We were both in time pressure. What's really even the point of this analysis? But the point is that if you can create two threats, create two threats. This maybe optically looks better because it's closer to the king, but this is, it only should take a few seconds to notice that this square is going to hit this rook and this forking square, and this just draws. Not that I'm trying to be critical, because probably he came here because he saw that if I take this pawn, then he has this square. But this square has all the same benefits of this one, and the bonus of attacking a piece. So just little things hoping to get into your brain, and in my own brain, of course, because if I would have seen that, I could have played king f6. Now, if he goes for this, let's see. Yeah, well, there's just no fork, so I can just go ahead and snack on this pawn. Yeah, so instead I went back. But now after knight g6, I don't give him another chance. Just go over the rest of the moves real quick. Just stuff to be careful with knight forks and stuff, but I tuck my king over on the queen side. And this next bit is a little instructive. You could say trap the knight in the corner. So that's when you're playing a rook against a knight or two rooks against a rook and a knight. It's one of the ideas you want to get the knight as far from the center as possible. And once he's in the corner, it's pretty easy to trap him. So main points of this game were in the opening and that little knight trick at the end, which could have saved the game for black. And for my own part, since I was attacking on the king side, should have taken that knight there instead of the bishop over on the queen side. In general, you want to open up lines on the wing that you were attacking on. So hope you got something out of this video, and check out the next one. Talk to you later.